Retired Czech General Petr Pavel wins presidential election. Petr Pavel celebrated in Prague after he won the presidential election on Saturday. Reuters. A former army chief and high NATO official Petr Pavel won the Czech Republic presidential election on Saturday with a pledge to keep the country firmly anchored in the West and bridge society's political differences. Pavel, a 61-year-old retired general running for office for the first time, won 58.3% of the votes, with all voting districts reporting final result, defeating billionaire ex-premier Andrei Babib, a dominant but polarizing force in Czech politics for the decade. Pavel, a social liberal who had campaigned as the independent and gained the backing of the center-right government, conveyed a message of unity when addressing his supporters and journalists at the Prague concert venue on Saturday. As result showed he had won. Values such as truth, dignity, respect, and humility won. He said, I'm convinced that these values are shared by the vast majority of us. It is worth us trying to make them part of our lives and also return them to the Prague castle and our politics. Pavel has also fully backed the continued support for Ukraine in its defense against Russia's invasion. Czech presidents do not have many day-to-day duties, but they pick prime ministers, and the central bank has have a say in the foreign policy or powerful makers and can push the government on policies. Pavel will take office in March, replacing outgoing Milos Zeman, a divisive figure himself during his two terms in office over the past decade, who had backed the Babis as his successor. Zeman had pushed for closer ties with Beijing and also with Moscow until Russia invaded Ukraine, and Pavel's election will mark a sharp shift. Turnout in a runoff vote that ended on Saturday was a record high 70.2%. The result of the election will only become official when published in a legal journal on Tuesday, but the outcome of the poll was already clear on Saturday. Bobby's 68, a combative business magnate who has the biggest opposition party in parliament, had attacked Pavel as the government candidate. He sought to attract voters struggling with soaring prices by vowing to push the government to do more to help them. Babis and Prime Minister Petr Fiala congratulated Pavel on his victory. Slovakia's Liberal President Zuzana Kaptova appeared at Pavel's headquarters to congratulate him, a demonstration of their close political positions. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky congratulated Pavel on his election on Twitter and said he looked forward to close cooperation. Billionaire ex-premier Andrei Babis, a dominant but polarizing force in Czech politics for a decade, lost out in the second round of voting. EU and NATO ties. Pavel has backed keeping the Central European country of 10.5 million firmly in the European Union and the NATO military alliance, and supports the government to continue to aid to Ukraine. He supports adopting the euro, a top topic that successive governments have kept on the back burner, and supports same-sex marriage and other progressive policies. A career soldier, Pavel joined the army in communist times, was decorated with the French Military Cross for valor during peacekeeping in former Yugoslavia in the 1990s, and later rose to lead the Czech General Staff and became chairman of NATO's military committee for 3 years before retiring in 2018. I voted for Mr. Pavel because he's a decent and reasonable man, and I think that the young generation has the future with him, said Abdoulaye Diop, 60, after voting in Prague on Saturday. Babis had campaigned on fears of war in Ukraine spreading and sought to offer to broker peace talks while suggesting Pavel, as a former soldier, could drag the Czechs into a war, a claim Pavel rejected.